Hopefully Knuckles is actually there. Otherwise his car could cause trouble.
Right, we are back after some technical difficulties on Cav's end, not mine.
The bloody cheek,
we're
yeah.
back, to be back underway now. Yeah, it's okay, Cav. We all make some mistakes, and as long as we learn from them. That's
As I said in here privately, and I'll now say it publicly, any deductions from this stream's revenues are coming from your portion, not from mine. You need to sort out that potato you have your internet plugged into. But however, we are back, and of course the lads haven't given themselves very long to get ready with their setups. They've got a lot to do in 45-50 seconds, but that's their problem and not ours.
Yes, indeed. Right, so let's hope that everyone doesn't forget their setups. Because on a track like this, especially sure the S's, forgetting your setup is not going to be a help to you at all. So once again, since we have restarted the stream, do leave a like to the 18 people who are currently watching.
Look at you sweating over your money.
Well, I'm getting that deduction now, Cav, so I need it up.
Yeah, please do, otherwise Josh won't eat this week. And we should mention we do have, of course, our analyst with us, who is getting paid by the word. Fanjo, we spoke to you just before we lost
not
connection.
A lot of words now, please.
Do tell us a little bit more about what you think might happen in this race.
Yeah, no, I think, I'm not sure if it was cut off or not, but you do have to watch out that back three in the field there with Kashiga and Knuckles. Could be a few boxing gloves involved there. But anyway, now we'll move on to the actual
Best friends.
I think Bluefoot looked very solid in quality. I think he's the favourite for this race in my opinion. A lot of people think Ryan Kern, but I haven't seen his race pace be that consistent as of late. So I've left him out of my top three, but yeah, I have Flemo, P2, and then Gaffo to round off the podium.
Okay.
Interesting. So we are, thankfully, looking like we're getting underway on a proper formation lap. And we have obviously everyone's tyre choices to work through there as well, Josh.
So yeah, the tyre choices. Now, I'm not going to be pointing any fingers, but they look like they changed now. So from the last time. But sure, we won't say anything about that. So Ryan Curran on pole on the mediums, and then we have the majority on hards. It looks at. It looks so. Gaffo then in third on the mediums, and you have Nolan D. Flynn on mediums as well. The Fonz in 11th, stranded in the middle of a load of hard tyres, and then Big Knockos and Glenn Mack down at the back on medium. So it looks like the hard tyre is the preferred strategy. Interesting, it's going into my notepad. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see who has the right strategy, whether the mediums or the hards are the correct tyre choice. I think it all depends on when a safety car is going to come out. So if it comes out early, it'll favour the medium runners, and if it comes out later, obviously it'll be better for the hard runners. But yeah, interesting tyre choices anyway.
Yeah, so we can see Ryan aggressively looking to get those mediums into their operating window. Interesting about this track, I suppose, is unlike most tracks, you can actually be better off here on the second row. That slipstream down into turn 1, it's a long way, and you often see the cars in third and fourth actually leading into turn 1. So let's see how Ryan and Kay Flemo get on. Obviously Ryan and Gaffo will have the advantage with those mediums, a little bit of extra launch traction, but who knows.
And Ryan Curran going for a nice little donut. Whether that's legal or not, I do not know, but look nice nonetheless. So the cars are lining up on their grid slot. Kachiga taking his time to get on, but I'm sure he's within 10 car lengths. So
he's awake, that's the important thing.
He's awake, that is the most important thing indeed, and we do have a nice billboard in the way. But here we go anyway, we have the lights for Mexico. And lights glitch. The lights are blank, the cars are moving, we are a go in Mexico. It is a decent start for Ryan Curran, also for for Gaffo, I should say. Getting that slipstream up into turn 1. Can he get a move done on him? He might go around the outside for the lead of the race. Gaffo around the outside of Ryan Curran. Ryan Curran braking late, and Gaffo trying to look for a little switch back here onto the next straight. Won't have DRS just yet. Oh, and there is
King Papa. LOI Nolan was half around there, but he got himself back going the right direction, and he's back up to P4. But that will need to be looked at, as Kay Flemo now on those hards falling a little bit backwards.
Well, indeed, as Gaffo didn't manage to get that move done. on Ryan Curran. Ryan Curran keeps that lead, but yeah, a lot of movement in the back as we have Bluefoot, who has dropped a few positions, I believe, and is fighting D Flynn here. D Flynn nearly spins him round, but Bluefoot manages to keep that P7 for now.
And with yellows in sector 2, that's Kachiga around. So
Kachiga.
he's fallen to the back along with Azza.
Oh, I think Shamrock has a lot of wing damage. He's missing a right end plate.
And we've a VSC out, Josh.
And it is a VSC, yeah. So a hectic turn. I think it was a turn 2 or 3.
Turn 2 into 3, yeah, a lot of contact through there. A couple of drivers half spun around. We obviously had Dark Mayhem as well off the line, getting a drive through on his debut. That's not ideal. He can't serve that until he gets back around. And yeah, a few guys with damage as well.
Oh, and Darver also went to the pits, a man who was one of the favourites for a good result today. But it is... the VSC is still out, and Nolan now is managing actually to close that gap somehow between the two lads in front of himself. It'll be a matter of seconds now when we're going to get back underway, because Nolan, he has fallen back off the start a good bit. They want to try and close that gap as the lads ahead of him are going to start fighting for the lead.
Yeah, so Darver, after coming back out on those medium tyres after a front wing change, same for Shamrock, and as at the moment in there as well, he's on his way out now on the hards again.
So a long virtual safety car. Should be getting back underway very, very shortly. And it's a drive-through for Azza. Not ideal for the first few laps, but we are back underway. And it's a great restart for Gaffo as Sanko gets himself a 3-second time penalty. As the Fonz gets past his teammate. Wonder if there's a bit of team orders there. And also goes wide.
We've yellows in sector 2. That's an Aston Martin around. That's Dark Mayhem, who's having a really tough start to life in LOI.
He is indeed, as Ryan Curran gets himself the fastest lap. We're going to have a good fluctuation of the fastest lap now. So Bluefoot burning the ERS, might look at a move on Aaron Sully in P5. Looks like he won't be close enough. But Aaron Sully and Bluefoot looking for moves on the cars ahead of them.
Yeah, we've DRS enabled this lap, so force detection zone will be down in sector 2. We'll see who can get that for after the S's.
Be an important one.
Gaffo just scrambling to stay with Ryan at the moment. As Ryan gets out of shape, and Gaffo's going to close right in on him here.
He is indeed. Right up to the back of him is Gaffo on Ryan Curran. Will he be able to make use of the DRS zone coming up soon? He needs to get a good S section here if he wants a chance of an overtake for the lead. As Ryan Curran looks very nice through the S's, and Gaffo just trying to push as hard as he can. As Ryan Curran goes wide, possibly a warning there. And now onto the main straight we will be after this section here. So it is important for Gaffo to try and make up as much time as he possibly can. As Bluefoot now having a fight with Aaron Sully just before we go back to the battle for the lead. And an Alpine also trying to stick his nose up through the inside of Aaron Sully. Doesn't make it happen, but Bluefoot is passed for P5 as Ryan Curran did get a good launch onto the main straight and will keep the lead for now.
Yeah, so Gaffo closing in on him here, and obviously the detection point is between turn 14 and 15 for both DRS zones, so Gaffo's going to have it regardless of whether he gets him here into turn 1 or not.
We have a bit of movement in the back here as well. Jay Carley right into the back of Aaron Sully, completely misses braking zone, and Aaron Sully is gone. I think he hit him into the wall as well.
And Gaffo up the inside of Ryan Curran, he's going to have him, and he does. Move done.
That's a very good overtake. Will Ryan Curran be able to have an answer for that? Be able to get back by him, and yeah, it's huge wing damage for Aaron Sully. I don't think he has a wing. Which unfortunately will be a big penalty for Jay Carley, missing his braking zone, and I think Jay also got a wing damage as well. As the Fonz now very close to the back of Bluefoot.
Aaron Sully, he has no front wing, so he's dropping down the orders. We see Knockos go past him now. Up to P9 is Knockos. Very good from his grid position. And having a look now at Jay Carley, who's struggling on those hards.
Jay Carley, he ran right into the back of Aaron Sully. That's how he got his damage. And Jay Carley also got some damage as well. as
And
Big
Knockos gets the
Knockos
move done.
shoots it around the outside, and it's a great move by him. And I think it's a bit of contact with the wall Defons had around the last corner. I don't know if he got any wing damage, not any visible wing damage anyway.
Jay Carley must have took damage in that collision with Aaron Sully because he's gone in, as is Aaron himself.
Defons makes that move happen on Bluefoot, up into P5 for Defons. It's a good race so far for him.
Yeah, so the medium runners getting those tyres switched on nice and early. Hard runners look to be struggling that little bit more, but Kay Flemo leading the way on the hard tyre. Currently in P4 and looking tidy, that Red Bull.
Not bad at all for Kay Flemo. On those hard tyres, he is playing the long game today. He is right behind Nolan, who is 3 seconds behind the top 2 lads, which is Gaffo and Ryan Curran still battling for the lead of this race.
Yeah, what's going to be interesting to see here now is what strategies all the lads are locking into as well. Obviously when you start on any of these compounds, really, you can go 2-stop, you can go 1-stop if you're good on tyres, but it is tricky. 2-stop tends to be the preferred strategy, leaves you more options as well, but we'll see now what the lads commit to.
I'd imagine we'll see a lot of these lads going for the 1-stop from medium to hard or hard to medium. But here is Ryan Curran. Did he get a good enough exit to get the overtake on Gaffo? I believe not, as Gaffo does have a lot more ERS than Ryan Curran as well, so he'll be able to defend nicely from him.
So already into lap 6, but huge
we have a yellow flag
between 2 and 3.
And that is Sanko, I believe. I think he went for a little spin, maybe. I'm not sure. I think he did. He lost a lot of time to the car ahead of him. I think he did, yeah. So now having a look at Blue Gunner on the back of Big Knockos here. I think Big Knockos had a little bit of a mistake. And another yellow flag.
Sector 3, that's an Alpine, I believe. Is that D. Flynn?
I think it is.
It is.
Oh, and Defons! Defons is round! In Sector 2, just before your corner, Cav. He has lost a lot of time to the cars ahead and to the cars behind as well. That will give Big Knockos a little bit of confidence to defend against a fast Blue Gunner and the Red Bull behind him.
Yeah, so big gaps now starting to form. 3-second gap between Nolan and Ryan Curran. 3 seconds back again then to Flemo.
Yeah.
A lot of the trains have been broken up here, and even down then to Kichiga you can see almost 7 seconds between him and Carl C. So huge field spread at the moment.
It is indeed. As I wonder if Defons got any, or not Defons got any damage. I don't think so. He's lost a good bit of time to Knockos. I wonder if Knockos got the DRS. And also now Ryan Curran behind Gaffo.
So Knockos going to close in here, and that's important. Although even with DRS, Knockos not really catching on the straight. He must be running a high downforce setup. He'll have another run at him here.
Blue Gunner seems to be falling back a little bit from the Aston Martin ahead. Still has that DRS, but not able to get the advantage that he might have thought he could have.
And nothing to pick between the front two at the moment. Trading sector after sector, hundreds pretty much between them as they go through sector 1. So very tight battle out front at the moment for P1.
It is indeed, yeah. The lads are very equal on pace, as we have now Glenn Mack, who has made his way all the way from the back of the grid up to P6. A fantastic race for Glenn Mack, who has counted himself out of the running for the championship, and I don't think we can. He seems to be showing a lot of pace today on the back of Bluefoot. He does have the DRS. He has a good bit of ERS, a lot more than Bluefoot anyway. He's going to be using his DRS, not going to burn the energy just yet, but he is now as he sees the flashing red light of Bluefoot ahead of him. Will he go for a dive, possibly around the outside here? Bluefoot trying to fend him off. Round the outside, Glenn Mack goes, gives him just enough room, and it is a great overtake from Glenn Mack.
Yeah, and he's going to have that second help in the DRS now that we spoke about earlier, so Glenn has that comfortably done. Bluefoot won't be able to come back at him.
Will indeed, and that is P5 for Glenn Mack, a fantastic move. Up now onto the back of Kay Flemo, as I think D. Flynn has gone round again, as Gaffo gets himself a penalty, so we're going to see a lot of penalties. That's not going to help Gaffo at all in this race for P1.
No, and they're easily picked up around here. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of totals as we get towards the second half of this race, particularly through the S's. Very easy to run wide.
Indeed, now Ryan Kern very close to the back of Gaffo now, closer than he was last time out. Will he be able to get a move done? And he's nearly spun the car, he's just about caught it. Will he be able to get the DRS to stay on the back of Gaffo? And it is a safety car.
Yeah, full-blown safety car.
Steve Flynn, he's had a lot of spins, and this one was a terminal one. He is in the wall.
So now what will the lads do? A lot of them have missed pit entry, most notably our leading pack.
Yeah.
But Flemmo taking the early opportunity to box here after the hard, so he's locking himself into a medium, you would think, if he has the fresh tyres.
Interesting move from K Flemmo there. Wouldn't have been my decision to do that, but
probably a sign it might be a good one. We've Bluefoot coming in as well, along with the Fonz going on to the softs, interestingly enough.
Yeah. Another interesting one. So the top 4 now, and this is allowing Glenmac once again to get back into this fight from the back as well. I would have said that lads ahead would have gone in, but they can't now. Safety car is ahead of them. But the Fonz on the softs is the most controversial decision from this safety car.
Yeah, and also an awkward one is Dark Mayhem is already a lap down here, so he's stuck in the middle of this safety car pack in P18. Will he try on lap himself? We'll see. Obviously tricky to do in this game.
Yeah, you need everyone to be
very good to you.
Yeah, you need everyone to be very nice to you. You need to be friends with everyone, and I don't think that lads are going to let him by. There's a lot of cars ahead. You need
there is.
There should be a
little pit, but we'll see.
There should be a feature in this game that allows you to overtake when you're lapped under safety car, but you know.
Add it to the list. We have, I'd say, a lot of features we could do it in this game.
Doing the game stop breaking, but you know, that's too much for them, obviously. But yeah, interesting now, and I think it's just about time to get our take from our analysts. What are you thinking of that, Fanjo?
Yeah, obviously it's really worked out for the likes of Flemmo and Bluefoot there with the safety car catching Gaffo and Ryan Kern and the lads. But like, they're going to have to pit again, 100%. So I think it's just whether Bluefoot and Flemmo can get through the traffic and catch up to the likes of Gaffo and Ryan Kern, because I know once the safety car comes in, Gaffo and Kern will be gone.
And we've lost Kachiga, haven't we?
Yeah, he's gone.
No way.
In the wall, I think.
I was just about to say, Bluefoot's going to have a bit of trouble getting by Kachiga.
He did a Grosjean. He's in the wall. On the main straight, and that is, well, that's ruled him out of it anyway.
Won't be living that down.
How do you do that? He is on the end of the straight. I mean, that isn't a really odd position to lose the car.
Yeah, done a Gary Drobro on it. Shout out to Gary.
Yeah, I don't even know if the great Gary would be proud of that one. I mean, that is absolute carnage. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe one of his naps got hold of him again. We shouldn't presume that until we know all the details. But that is a bizarre incident at best. Sorry, Fanjo, you were saying.
No, I was going to say I wasn't predicting that, I must say, but yeah, no, I still think Flemmo and Bluefoot are heavy favourites for this race, and Gaffo, that penalty will hurt him. But as you say, like everyone should be getting close to at least one penalty this race.
Yeah.
I think you got to look out for Blue Gunner once he gets on those mediums late in the race.
And quickly before we get back underway, would you rather be in K Flemmo's car or in Gaffo and Ryan Curran's position at the moment?
Gaffo.
Okay, there you go. Track positions, king. Back to you, Josh.
Alright, so a short safety car, only a couple of laps, and the loss of Kachiga as well. We are going to be getting underway very shortly. LG Gaffo is going to be taking us for the green flags, and he is gone. Is it a good restart for Ryan Curran? It is not. He's spun round, and that is terrible for Ryan Curran. And that he is doing donuts. He can't get control of the car again, and that is terrible for him. Horrible restart for him, but a good one for Bluefoot now on the back of K Flemmo. This is huge here. The two lads on the two-stop strategy. Bluefoot going through the inside of K Flemmo. K Flemmo brakes later than Bluefoot. Will he be able to get through the corner? Doesn't look like he will be able to get the optimum line onto the next straight, and he has got it done. A great overtake by Bluefoot.
Yeah, really good stuff from Blue there. For a new driver, he certainly not lost for confidence, and he kept that really tidy. We have an Aston Martin in the middle of that pack that's ghosting. That's just because he's a lap down, in case anyone's wondering. We haven't lost anyone or anything like that. And so Bluefoot's next target now on those fresh mediums will be Darver, last week's race winner.
Yeah, Darver. Oh, and Glenn Mack not going to help him with a 3-second penalty. Looking very well on track as well. But Blue Gunner just about holding on to Glenn Mack, and I think Blue Gunner. Oh, and Darver gone past Carroll here.
Yeah, side by side.
Into sector 3, has gone past him, and as I was saying, I think I'd rather be in Blue Gunner's car than anyone else's. Going on to the mediums for his next stop. I think that's he's in a good spot right now, and I think if he can get back up into the DRS of Glenn Mack, he is set for a fantastic race result today.
Bluefoot coming on to Carl C now. He's going to have that one done nice and early.
And he's gotten the move done before the braking zone, and the dive from Carl now. Had a little look, but thought better of it. Now Bluefoot onto Darver once again now.
So this is important. Nolan has closed into Gaffo's DRS on the last lap. We obviously haven't gotten it re-enabled yet, but he's closed that gap to 8 tenths from 1.3, so he's back in position to stay close to him.
He is indeed. So Bluefoot looking very quick, holding on to the back of Darver here, and Darver also looking quick onto the back of Blue Gunner. And Darver, pushing him through the S's. Blue Gunner looks like he had a little bit of a mistake. No DRS just yet. He is going to be burning his DRS. Darver now trying maybe to go for a dive through the inside of Blue Gunner. Thinks better of it, as Irish Az gets his penalty for today, and also Kay Flemmo.
Yeah, Blue Gunner really struggling for temperature in those hards. You can see him just not being able to get the power down as quickly as the medium runners, and with DRS now enabled, as we get to the S's on this lap, we're going to see some additional assistance for lads trying the moves, but will Bluefoot continue to make progress? That's the key one. Him and Flemmo trying to come through the pack as quick as they can to make that two-stop strategy work.
That's now the Font. He gets past the Haas of Carroll. Now behind Kay Flemmo. Kay Flemmo, seems to be struggling a little bit on those new mediums compared to Bluefoot. Bluefoot now right behind Darver, who is right behind Blue Gunner here. And Blue Gunner still does have the pace to be keeping up with Glenn Mack on those mediums ahead. Glenn Mack seems to be struggling though compared to P1 and 2 though, being Gaffo and Nolan.
Yeah, we should also mention just while we're watching this that Sanko has retired just at the safety car restart there. He had technical issues with his wheels, so another driver gone.
And that's Glenn Mack gone.
Glenn Mack. And is that going to be another safety car? That's
and it
a big
is a
accident.
full safety car. So let's see what the strategies are going to show us here. Wow. And that is a big one there. Glenn Mack looking so well. He is in the wall and retired.
Then there was 15. Just as I was saying, we had 16. So
yeah, 15 and one lad lapped.
That's very disappointing for Glenn. He's running a great race so far, but
who's going into the pits? Top 3, top 4 have gone in. Bluefoot also going in.
Strange. Unless he fancies hards from here. And Darver just got 5 seconds.
Blue Gunner and Jake Harley with his 9-lap-old mediums is going to be taking the lead with Big Knockos just behind him and Shamrock behind him. And speeding in the pit lane, Dark Mayhem may retire. He has retired. 14 drivers left in this race.
Yeah, Darver most likely hitting the back of Blue as they enter the pits there, I would assume. But yeah, damage for him for sure. I assume he got a front wing change. And Bluefoot going on another set of mediums, so he'll be stopping again.
Bluefoot,
that's for sure.
He will. I think the question is, can Big Knockos and Shamrock make those tyres last till the end of the race? If so, they're looking very nice for a good result today.
Yeah, and what's really interesting at the moment is we kind of have an inverted grid, because a lot of the lads in those top 4 or 5 positions didn't start up towards there, so Gaffo down in P6 has a lot of work to do, and a lot of work to do on those hards. And
Yeah.
Next of the medium runners on fresh ones would be Blue Gunner, and we know how much he likes to get those mediums working, so can he do something?
Glenn Mack, so close yet so far. Isn't he, Glenn?
Poor Glenn.
Yeah.
Poor Glenn. It seems to be a thing as well when people come in and talk to us before the race that they lose focus and have a terrible incident.
I don't think
Not to discourage people from talking to us, but my goodness, I don't think anyone has talked to us and actually come back to talk to us.
Yeah, I
day.
don't think there's someone who's talked to us twice in a race day. But you never know. Someone can break that curse. Is that someone going to be you? Find out next week. Come in and chat to us.
Nice plug.
Yeah,
As we see the lads working our hard and medium compounds, trying to get temperature maintained. Obviously we've seen on the last restart it takes a couple of laps for those hards to come into the window, so really important.
Jake Harley making sure that Bernd Maylander isn't nervous with a car behind him, keeping his distance. He's come back up a little bit now. Maybe he's going full pelt, we don't know. But you'd hope not. Yeah, he's really keeping his distance here. I don't know what his plan is. Hopefully the safety car doesn't stay out another few laps like it has done in a previous game with a certain someone named Budge. Kept the safety car out for a good maybe 4 laps.
Budge does enjoy a good safety car.
Yeah.
So who is in the best position here? We have a mix of tyres and a mix of strategies. This is really interesting how this is all going to start to play out.
I'd say, well, personally, I'd say Knockos. If you can make those tyres last with another few safety cars, or maybe no more safety cars, but this safety car might have helped them.
Yeah,
I think Knockos and Shamrock could be on for a good result.
yeah, both in a really good position, and both very important to have a clean bill of health in terms of the penalties. So that's definitely going to play a factor as we get closer to the end of this race. And already we've some lads on 6 and 8. So
yeah, but here we go. Safety car is going to be in this lap. Safety car number 2. And Jake Harley is going to be taking us underway for racing, and he has his ERS on. Hopefully this doesn't hamper his restart. Hopefully he turns it off before he goes, because that's not going to help him with wheel spin. Here we go, slowing everyone up, trying to catch Big Knocko sleeping behind him. A bit of messing in the back here as well. Really slowing him up, and he is gone.
yep.
He's kept it in a straight line, and a great restart compared to Knocko's behind him and Shamrock. Aaron Sully is not being caught sleeping though. He is right behind Shamrock. Will he be able to get a move done? He's not going to be burning his ERS just yet. And Kay Flemo, bit of messing with him and Carl here. Not a great restart for Flemo.
And Bluefoot having a look up the inside of the fans as well. They're going to be side by side into turn 1.
Going through the inside, Bluefoot breaks earlier than the Fonz here, trying to get the best line through the next 2 corners here for the next straight, and gets the move done. A fantastic overtake once again for Bluefoot.
Yeah, really good car positioning by Bluefoot.
Yeah.
Planted himself on the apex there at the
second time I've
third
seen him
corner,
do that.
just to protect his position, stop the fans getting the run or the switchback. Really, really clever.
And Bluefoot and Nolan fighting here. Can Bluefoot get the better of him here? He has good traction through the S's. Lets Nolan go. Doesn't want to go side by side through there. Just a smart decision by him. And Gaffo now very close to the back of Azza. If Gaffo can get a good distance between himself and Nolan, it'll be very good for his race. So Jake Harley still in the lead by a second. And Bluefoot now with a penalty, so we have more than half the grid with a penalty now. Gaffo right on the back of the Haas. Will he be able to get a move done? Great straight line speed by Azza here. He is flying in a straight line.
Yeah, and when DRS is enabled next time around, we'll see some of the drivers now making their move, as I've been to one of them.
Carl right behind Ryan Curran, now in front of Ryan Curran, or side by side should I say. They're going to go side by side through turn 1. Ryan Curran breaks later, and Carl doesn't want to scrap that. Ryan Curran's going to stay in P13.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Ryan can do from there. Obviously we know he has the pace, but a couple of mistakes have put him right to the back, so can he recover from P13? We'll see. And interesting out front is the gaps Jay Carley seems to be holding steady towards Knockos, but Shamrock, well, he's closed right in, even though his hard tyres are actually a lap older, so he's getting those tyres working that little bit easier as Jay Carley gets a penalty.
Yeah, it's another penalty for Jay Carley now. He has 6.
Yep.
Gaffo looking very quick now behind Azza on those 12 lap fresher tyres. Nearly hitting into the back of him, getting his braking zone perfectly is Gaffo. Can he get the move done on this next straight? He won't have DRS, and he does have Nolan right behind him. Can Gaffo get a good move here? As once again, Azza got a little bit of a snap going onto the main straight. Azza, yeah, he has a great straight line speed. He's not going to allow him to get past, but he does have that light on now, the red flashing light, showing that he is derating. He's less than 10% ERS left. Gaffo very close to the back. Gaffo
serious confidence on the braking.
Seems to be running very high wings. He gets a good exit on Azza here. He won't have DRS, but he will be able to use his ERS, nearly being pushed onto the grass here. Gaffo with the fresher tyres will be able to outbrake Azza, and he does. Azza is still trying to fight it though, going through the inside is Azza. Just about enough room left for him, and Gaffo is through. A good overtake by Gaffo. Good amount of work to do that as well.
Yeah, good battling by the two lads, good hard defending by Azza, good overtaking by Gaffo. Kept it clean, but wasn't afraid to get the elbows out either, and that's really important for him to be released.
Oh,
and Darvra!
Last week's winner is out of the race. And will it be a safety car? It is another safety car.
Oh wow.
So, who is this going to benefit? It's benefited. The safety cars have benefited different people each time. So let's see who it's going to help this time round.
Let's see what everyone decides to do. Jay Carley obviously is going to box, but what does Knockos decide? Knockos stays out, Shamrock in, Aaron Sully in, and that means Gaffo will be in P2 on those 4 lap old, now 5 lap old hards.
I would have said that's a poor decision by Shamrock to go in. Can definitely, with that safety car, can definitely make those tyres last. But now Gaffo back up to P2. Now Gaffo is in the best position along with Nolan. So the benefits of the safety car is changing every single time. But Gaffo in the best position at the moment.
Yeah, and we should bear in mind we're going across halfway distance here, so a lot more could happen in the last 18 laps around this track. And it might not be a bad time, Josh. What do you think? Will we have a chat with Fanjo? Or will we leave him sitting there?
Well.
Okay, fair enough. I'll get a drink of water and you talk to Fanjo.
Fanjo, what do you think of that?
Yeah, jeez, like it is a track where it can happen and a lot of safety cars come out. But no, I've just heard inside information to hear that Kachigo was just trying to warm up his tyres and...
Yeah. I suspected he did a bit of a Grosjean. Unfortunate, but
as you say, it's hard to see who this safety car benefits. But I think, as you say, Gaffo's in a good spot. I think Bluefoot's not in a bad spot because he can now save these mediums to go to the end. But I just think track position around here is important. So I think any lad kind of in the 8, 9, 10, 11 spot is just going to find it tricky to get through the field, even on pressure tyres.
And in terms of Big Knockos, would you like to be in his car?
Do you know what? Like, I wouldn't mind it. Like, you're ahead of all the chaos as long as you can get into turn 1 safely. You can get to the end on the tyres, but they won't be great. But you can get to the end, no problem. Yeah,
I definitely think a podium is in it for him anyway. But yeah, a few big names out. Were you expecting that at all with Darvra and Glenn Mack, Kachiga as well, even Rory Drain, Mr. Consistency as well as Kachiga?
I wasn't expecting it with Darvra or Glenn Mack, I must say. I thought Darvra was really consistent in Silverstone, and I thought he might slip up to the P4, just miss out on a podium or something, but I thought he'd be up there. And Glenn Mack, it was good for him, he was doing so well.
Yeah, he was in a great position.
Back. But yeah, Dark Mayhem, no, like, it's first race, like, so no one's going to judge him for that. That's fair enough. And the other lad, Roy Drain, he hasn't been at it really since Gary Tracy left us, so I think he's lacking a bit of motivation.
But, I think Sanko as well. I think Sanko's had an unfortunate start to the season last week and this week. Yeah,
still a long way to go, but yeah, as you say, it's always nice to get a good start to the season.
It is.
Yeah. Penalties around here. Like Shamrock is not in a bad spot. Like there could be a late safety car as well, and you never know. Penalties can be really costly around here.
Yeah, I think the lads who don't have penalties with a safety car coming out last second, last few laps, definitely benefit them. That's where Kachika gets all his positions from. That's where he gets that's where he thrives. Not getting any penalties, keeps it clean, and gains all those positions. But for those of you wondering, Cav has left the party. A little bit of an internet issue, I'm guessing, on his part. Or he just doesn't like the sound of our voices. Yeah. But anyway, why don't you stay with me, Fanjo, until we get Cav back here, as we have Big Knockos now. He's going to be restarting us now for the last 16 laps of this Mexican Grand Prix. So can he get a good restart now on Gaffo? He's going to be going right about now. We're going to have green flags, and Gaffo doesn't get the best restart compared to Nolan behind him. He gets a good one, but the best one I think is the Fonz right behind Bluefoot. Will he be able to get a good slipstream down into turn 1? Bluefoot trying to warm up those tyres. How legal is that? I do not know, but going around the outside, the Fonz. Bluefoot breaks a little bit later, but the Fonz still trying to hang it around the outside. Doesn't get the traction for it. Bluefoot is going to be staying in that P5 for now, as Shamrock gets a move done on the Haas of Carroll. And no more movement up the front, so everything has stayed relatively the same. Aaron Sully getting by Carroll as well, so Carroll seems to be losing a good few positions.
Yeah, I think these few laps are really important for Gaffo to get ahead of Knockos and try and build a gap, because those medium lads will be coming very quickly very soon.
They will be indeed. Those mediums will be much quicker at this point in time than the hards. It's important for Gaffo to try and get the move done on Big Knockos, as Knockos seems to be flying on those old hards compared to Gaffo.
Yeah, they're a good race car, I must say. Like, you get them up to speed and they can do at least 25 laps, no bother.
Yeah. 100%. I think Big Knockos is going to be showing us that tonight, as Bluefoot now once again right behind Blue Gunner. Battle of the Blues here. Blue Gunner having a good race today so far. Can Bluefoot get ahead of him? It doesn't look like it. Both of them have equal straight line speed. Maybe Bluefoot a little bit more with the slipstream behind. It looks like Blue Gunner is going to be staying ahead of Bluefoot.
It's like Jake Hardy over Ryan Kern.
Yeah, Ryan Kern just about hanging on to it, but oh, and a bit of contact, and he's round, and there's contact behind as well, and wing damage between Jake Harley and Shamrock. I think Shamrock definitely got some damage. I'm not sure if the Alpha Tauri did. But here's Aaron Sully as well, having a look at this. Might he go through the outside of the Williams? He's gonna fend them off for now. But Bluefoot very close, pushing Blue Gunner through Sector 2 and into the S's now. Very close behind him. Will he be able to get a move done onto the next straight, or possibly onto the main straight, as Blue Gunner has fallen back 1.3 seconds behind Nolan? And it's a spin for Shamrock. He is down into the bottom now, into P13.
Yeah, he's having a good race, unfortunately for Shamrock. That's nothing you can do about that. That's just an unfortunate situation in the race.
It is indeed.
But it's cost the likes of Aaron Sully and Kay Flem a lot of time being stuck behind that carnage.
It definitely has, as we have now Bluefoot once again. DRS is enabled, but Bluefoot won't get it for this straight or the next one. He'll get it after the S's. But will it be able to help him to defend against the Fonz behind him, who does have ERS to burn, which Bluefoot doesn't? Will the Fonz try and go for a move here? He's going to go defensive, Bluefoot, and the Fonz is going to stay behind him, as Shamrock has retired in the pits. And now for the lead, let's have a look at this. Gaffo, only 3/10 behind Big Knockos here on the fresher tyres. And as you said, Fanjo, it's important for him to get this move done as soon as you can, to be able to bridge a gap to Nolan and the medium runners behind. The medium runners who seem to be falling back behind the hard runners.
I think Blue Gunner is starting to have a bit of train behind him, but yeah, no, Big Knockos, this is great pace from him at the moment. I must say, I didn't expect this starting from the back of the grid.
Could we have a Big Knockos win? If so, that would be a treat for everyone, I'd say.
Yeah,
definitely.
Upset, I must say.
Gaffo now very close to the back of Big Knockos. I'd say if he's able to get a move done, he'll be able to gap him within a few laps. But let's see if he's able to make it work. It's one thing getting up to the back of a car, it's another thing overtaking, especially on a track like this. Now he will have DRS on this straight.
Don't forget it's a double DRS on this track. You get it on the first straight, you also get it in the second straight, so...
Yes, indeed. As Gaffo is going to be going by Big Knockos, and he will get the second round of DRS as well, even though he is still in front. And Eloy Nolan going through the inside of Big Knockos. Knockos braking very late to try and stay ahead of him. And I think Nolan has the preferred line through here to get an overtake done. Pushes Knockos off the track. Knockos is still there though. And Nolan just has the better straight line speed to stay ahead of Knockos. And that is a good overtake by Nolan. And we do have Cav back in the party here.
I have returned. Whatever gremlins you had, Josh, they have transferred into my world. But I think we're good now. And glad to see the last 12 laps of this race. 2/3 distance. Lots still to go. And the worrying thing is we've only 12 drivers left.
Yeah, 12 drivers left, with Shamrock being the most recent retiring in the pits. But yeah, thank you, Fanjo, for staying with me. We will get back to you at the end of the race, or if there's another safety car possibly.
No stress.
Get out of the way, Fanjo, the main man is back. And what's really interesting as well here, we have only 3 drivers now with a clean slate, so Nolan, Knockos and Carl. That could be really important, particularly if we see another safety car, which isn't beyond the realms of possibility.
Indeed, yeah. Having no penalties is very important, especially on tracks like this where safety cars can be coming out very often. And Blue Gunner now trying to get a move done on Big Knockos through the inside. Blue Gunner brakes much later and he's compromised his exit, going over the curbs a good bit, and that will allow Bluefoot with some DRS behind him possibly get a move done on him. He doesn't have any ERS, which isn't very helpful for him, but neither does Blue Gunner. Will he go for a dive through the inside? No.
It's good from Bluefoot, playing the patient game. Plenty of time to get this done, and he knows he has the pace.
Yeah, he just needs to save a bit of his ERS to get the best possible chance of an overtake. Especially with the train ahead of him, he needs to save that ERS as much as he can. As Blue Gunner looking a little bit squirrely through the S's. Will this allow Bluefoot to get a good exit on him? Blue Gunner still managing to stay ahead of him.
Yeah, it's going to be really important in this train for everyone to stay close to each other, as Knockos gets 3 seconds, so that's another one. That's only 2 remain.
So Bluefoot now, will he be able to get past Blue Gunner on the equal tyres? Doesn't look like it so far. He will have DRS, but he's using his ERS once again, and he is derating. I think most of the drivers are derating except for Ryan Curran on the hards behind, whose tyres are going to start being faster than the mediums ahead of him now.
Yeah, and can Ryan now close into the fans for his DRS? We'll see. Quite a queue in front of him.
Yeah, it definitely is. Big Knockos now. I think Nolan won't be too stressed about keeping up the pace, but he does need to keep up with Gaffo. Keep within that 3-second range, and Gaffo needs to break it if he wants to keep that win, and he seems like he is. He seems like he has better pace, and
Knockos having a look here.
Got a great run on him into the S's through the left-hander, and he gets the move done. What an overtake by Knockos.
Brilliant from Knockos. We know he's been in LOI a long time, and certainly when I joined, those are the sort of moves that you used to see week in, week out, so it's great to see him back battling at the front.
And he is, a little mistake from Nolan ahead, and he has capitalised on that mistake. Yeah. And another mistake from Bluefoot, who has allowed the Fonz right through, and he's nearly spun the car around. Will that allow Ryan Curran to get through as well? Ryan Curran's going to stay behind for now, but he's caught right back up to the back of him.
Yeah.
14% ERS for Bluefoot, 70% for Ryan Curran. This should be a breeze past him. Bluefoot just about has the DRS on the Fonz ahead of him. Ryan Curran also has the DRS and ERS. He's wasted his whole battery trying to get this move done. Will he be able to get it through the inside? Going defensive as Bluefoot, trying to get the better line, but Ryan Curran breaks later with those fresher tyres. But with the better tyre at the moment, gets through into P6.
Yeah, Ryan's born in here again just to protect from the slipstream. The right thing to do.
Yeah, he is indeed. He is down now into 20 range of ERS now, 20%. And Bluefoot gets himself a penalty now, another one. Here's the penalties. For anybody wondering, the only men out on track without penalties is Carl and Nolan.
And at the moment, Nolan's position means that Gaffo is still in the net lead of this race, providing he can keep that to 3 seconds.
That is correct. Gaffo is going to have to start putting in the good laps now, because only 2/10 is the difference between a win and a second place for Gaffo. I think Nolan a little bit of a mistake there. He's lost a lot of time, nearly lost DRS completely from Knocko's ahead of him.
Yeah, lucky for him, the detection point is in sector 3.
Yeah.
So he closes a lot of that gap back very quick in a straight line anyways. He's after closing in 6-7 tenths there. Wow. And now he gets his second helping, and that'll bring him right onto the back of Knockos once more. And Knockos is nearly fallen 3 seconds behind Gaffo, so Gaffo extending that lead out front nicely with those 14 lap old hards.
He is indeed. Gaffo having a great race today. The strategy has gone his way, and Nolan needs to get the pace going, needs to get by Big Knockos if he can. With the 50% battery is very, very good at this stage in the race.
Blue Gunner's had a mistake, and DeFons has a good run on him here.
He's gotten a lot of warnings set there, and he has indeed. He's gotten another penalty for his troubles. DeFons, can he go around the outside of Blue Gunner? Blue Gunner lets it happen. Ryan Curran now trying to have
DeFons goes deep.
Go with this. Oh no. Ryan Curran got himself a penalty. It is carnage here. Ryan Curran trying through the inside on the Red Bull. A little bit of contact. No major harm done. Bluefoot now right behind Ryan Curran, who was right behind Blue Gunner. Is there anything major going to be done here? I think Blue Gunner, or Bluefoot, on the back of Ryan Curran, could be going for a move here. DRS and ERS.
Using that ERS, yeah. He's using up what's left of it.
Ryan Curran, will he go for a big lunge through the inside? Possibly. He is going to have a little look. Thinks better of it though. Ryan nearly loses the car as well. Blue Gunner just about staying ahead. Can he get the move on DeFons now?
And Bluefoot's going to have Ryan here. He has a great run on him on those mediums. This is going to be side by side. Oh, he gets out of it. Probably was. Ryan goes deep though, so Bluefoot will get a run on him again here. He'll stay right with him into the S's, I'm sure.
Ryan Curran just about hanging on to that P6. But another mistake there from Blue Gunner. A little snap of oversteer. Isn't going to help him at all in that battle between himself and DeFons. DeFons is trying to hold on to that P4, but penalties aren't going to help Blue Gunner at all. 6 seconds of penalties compared to 3 of DeFons, so it looks like DeFons is going to be keeping that P4 nonetheless.
At the moment, LOI Nolan is actually the quickest man of the top 3, so if he can get past Knockos this time or next time around... Oh, and as I say it, Nolan's around!
Oh, and it's the commentator's curse at full effect. Nolan, who was potentially battling for the win, or at least a P2, is now down into P10.
And I was just going to say that if he could shave another couple of tenths out of Gaffo, he'd be back in that 3-second window, but now, well, he finds himself way down the order.
Here we have Bluefoot going for a move through the inside, trying to keep his wing there as Ryan Curran just leaves him enough room. And Bluefoot gets a great exit onto this next straight, onto the second DRS straight. Bluefoot and Ryan Curran. Ryan Curran currently a little bit behind him. Brakes much later than Bluefoot and stays ahead of him. But his teammate now, Jake Harley, is right behind Bluefoot now. Will he be able to
Blue Gunner's gotten
battle
the
him?
fence, Josh.
And Bluefoot, he has.
They were side by side into the 2 right-handers, and Blue has come out the winner so far.
It's great for Blue Gunner. Can he bridge a gap enough to keep him that P3? It's currently DeFons. Looks like he's going to be keeping it, but there are 6 laps left and still a chance for a safety car.
And time penalties will certainly shake this order up. 3s and 6s so far, pretty much all around. LOI Nolan and Carl are both clean, but they're too far down the order to affect the podium at the moment.
Yeah, fortunate for Nolan once again. Of course, he could have gone for the win, but dropped back after a spin. But now, Bluefoot on the back of Ryan Curran once again, round 2. Will he be able to get the move done again? Is he going to go through the inside? Bluefoot on Ryan Curran on the Mercedes, and he touches his back
contact.
tyre.
Yeah.
Nearly spins him round. Still hanging around the outside through the inside now. Bluefoot, does he get as good as an exit as he did the last time? He does. Ryan Curran just about marginally ahead of him. As Bluefoot on those medium tyres will be able to brake as late as Ryan Curran on the better hards. No, Ryan Curran stays ahead of him just for now. Is it a switch back from Bluefoot here? No, Ryan Curran, great defence from Ryan Curran.
Yeah, Ryan driving well at the moment, and I've never seen such a long train of cars who have no ERS to their name.
Yeah.
They're all trading in 3s and 5s, but that could be important now coming to the end. Blue Gunner and the Fonz in particular have been able to build up just a little bit of battery. Maybe they're going to save a little bit more.
So Blue Gunner, unfortunately for him, the 6 seconds of penalties. Now you never know, the Fonz could get a penalty. Another penalty to his name to allow Blue Gunner to keep that P3, but just needs to keep on ticking those laps away. 4 remaining now, I should say. Will Bluefoot go for another move on Ryan Curran here? Looks like he's a little bit further back than last time. Doesn't look like anything major will be happening as of yet. There is still another DRS straight though that Bluefoot can take advantage of as he gets really close to the back of the Mercedes ahead of him. And he is going to be staying behind Ryan Curran this time round.
A really good battle from the two lads, and you would know these are two lads that could be well in the championship fight come the end of the season. This could be important.
Yes indeed. Oh, and the Fonz just about catches the car after Blue Gunner did the same thing just ahead of him. So that would have been big for the Fonz there. And slightly struggling through the S's is the Fonz going over those high curbs as Ryan Curran now right behind him. This could be big for track positions. As if Ryan Curran gets a move done on the Fonz, it could allow Blue Gunner to bridge a bit of a gap between himself and the Fonz.
And Nolan gets a penalty, so we have one driver left with no track limit violations at the moment.
I don't think it's going to make much of a difference to him.
So the battle between this train continues. Everyone's trading blows evenly at the moment.
Below 5% DRS is Bluefoot. Still going to burn it though. He's still trying it on Ryan Curran here. This has been a great battle. And he isn't going to make the move as of yet. He might be, well, hopefully, saving his ERS a little bit. As Aaron Sully gets himself another penalty.
Yeah, so that brings him up to 9, and at the moment he'll lose that final point in P10. That'll be Carl's honour, but a long way to go still. Speaking of honours, Azza takes the honour of fastest lap, gets his name up on the board.
So once again, through the S's, Blue Gunner doesn't like this section. Or I should say the Fonz doesn't like this section, as he had a little bit of a few mistakes last time round, as Blue Gunner now nearly out of the DRS of the Fonz temporarily. Fonz back within that 5/10 range now.
Yeah, the Fonz looks very, very quick in a straight line. He seems to be doing all this gaining on the straights. Blue Gunner looking very comfortable through the S's by comparison.
Oh, Ryan Curran nearly loses the car. This will allow Bluefoot to go right by him and his teammate as well, Jay Carley. The two AlphaTauris, pushes him off the track slightly there.
Yeah. Flemmo's having a look at this as well with interest.
Yeah, Kay Flemmo on the back of the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri. I don't think he'd be close enough, but Jay Carley is gone through on Ryan Curran, but Ryan Curran through the inside once again. Doesn't make the move happen, and Kay Flemmo's having a bit of this action as well. Through the inside and out the outside. And Ryan Curran just about stays ahead of Kay Flemmo, but loses out in 2 positions. And now LOI
Nolan has Flemmo.
So
it's all happening.
A lot of action now. Will Nolan go through the inside of the Mercedes? No, he's going to stay behind Ryan Curran for now. Ryan Curran spins the car, and that is him out of the points now. As Ryan Curran, well, down into 10th place, but when he gets overtaken now by Carl, he'll be out of the points. Unfortunate for Ryan Curran. A great qualifying today, but just not a great race.
No, unfortunately not. Ryan just not able to keep things together. And speaking of which, a man that has, Gaffo, just tidily eking out a 6-second gap out from Tanaka, so even on penalties, that's a legitimate gap for him.
Yeah, Gaffo having a great a great last few laps here today. Gaffo definitely played his cards right today, and it's working out for him so far, going into the last 2 laps of this race.
Yeah, so 2 more laps to go. And what racing is left in this, particularly in that DRS train in the middle? Is there any more moves to come?
There'll be a battle between the 2 AlphaTauris, 2 teammates, Jay Carley and Bluefoot. Both of them on 6 seconds of penalties. Can Jay Carley make the move stick on Bluefoot, possibly? And also the Fonz and Blue Gunner very close beside each other as well. The Fonz just trying to stay within that 3-second range. We do have a yellow flag.
Yeah,
Who's
that's
that?
a Haas around. That's Azza.
Yeah, after getting the fastest lap, he spun the car around. And very close. These 4 cars are very close to each other, pushing each other through Sector 2.
And I wonder, will there be any team orders here at AlphaTauri? Bluefoot obviously off the back of a great result last week. Another good result from this week will certainly do his championship credentials no harm. Jay Carley, as we know, could be in trouble potentially with the stewards after this race. So is there any value in Jay Carley compromising Bluefoot here? We'll wait and see.
We go Bluefoot on the Fonz here. He's going to go for it on track. It's not going to make any difference after penalties. But you never know after the race. Stewards having a look at it. Could be penalties in place. Now, on to the last lap with Gaffo nearly 6 seconds ahead of Big Knockos. We still do have a big battle between a good few cars here and a big train, all behind Blue Gunner, as Bluefoot has fallen back a good bit behind the Fonz. It's going to allow his teammate to possibly have a move on him.
And the Fonz is going to have a look at Blue here. Oh, he gets out of it.
And
wow. He's right
Bluefoot
alongside him for a second.
Yeah, Bluefoot as well, braking very late and allowing himself to stay ahead of his teammate. But that was
and Nolan as well, having a look here at Jay Carley, but again deciding it's not worth the risk. So one more overtaking opportunity really for the lads here. Let's see if anyone can get it done.
Might we see some desperate lunges into the last sector? Very possibly, as Bluefoot possibly gets himself another warning. He'll want to watch out. Just hang on to his position that he's in currently. He gets a good exit compared to the Fonz here. But as they're going to be battling behind, I don't think there's going to be any moves. We're going to go on to Gaffo. He has had a great race, played his cards right, and he's going to win in Mexico. A great race from Gaffo, as Big Knockos, very good race from him as well, spins it across the line for P2. And then Blue Gunner on track is going to take P3, but it is the Fonz who's going to take that after penalties with a... Ooh, I thought they didn't cross the line there. So the Fonz is in P3. Nolan got P5, P4, P5 for K Flemo, and Blue Gunner has dropped all the way down to P6 with Bluefoot in P7 and his teammate P8. Right, Carl managed to get himself some points. 2 points for Carl in the Haas.
Good
P9
result
and
for Carl.
And Sully, after a disappointing race, managed to get a point for himself.
Ryan Corrin, he'll be very disappointed in P11, that's for sure.
Be well indeed. As Azza crosses the line with the fastest lap, but with no points. In P12, so only 12 finishers overall.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. A lot of a good few safety cars, a good few incidents as well. I'm sure we'll we won't be left with nothing to do over these next few days.
But these results may change.
They will indeed. But why don't you bring us through these results, Kev?
So, winning his 4th race of the season in P1, LG Gaffo in the Alfa Romeo. Big Knockos as a reserve, stepping up into P2 in the Aston Martin. A great result for him from P19 on the grid. The Fonz, LOI long-term legend, he is after taking his first podium of the season in P3 in the Alpine. LOI Nolan in P4, good recovery from him after a late spin. K Flemo and Blue Gunner, the Red Bulls going 2x2 on P5 and 6. It's Bluefoot P7, Jay Carley his teammate in P8. We have Carl, coming up to P9, a good result for Carl after keeping his nose clean in terms of track limit violations, and Aaron Sully rounding out the points in P10. Ryan Curran in P11 in the Merc, he'll be very disappointed for sure. Azza in P12, nipping the fastest lap, but no good to him in 12th. And then we have a long list of retirees. It's Shamrock, Darvra, Glenn Mack, Dark Mayhem, Sanko, Kachiga, D. Flynn, and finally, early on we lost Rory Drain. The GOAT.
The God himself.
The GOAT himself.
Why don't we go once again to Fanjo? Fanjo, you've had a lot of words, and it's a big paycheck for you today. What did you think of that race? Were you expecting the result at all?
It was an event-filled race, I must say.
Yeah.
But oh no, I was gutted for King Papa, I must say, or LOI Nolan. Did he end up with a penalty in the end?
He did.
He did, yeah, but even still, I think he finished P4. Not a bad result, but I'd say he'd be good after that. But no, brilliant drive by Knockhousens and the fans as well, and good recovery by Flemmo, I must say. P5, a solid result, another solid result. So, yeah, and obviously fair play to Gaffo. He said he's gonna finish P1, I think, before the race to me. So, fair play to him. He proved me wrong. And yeah, good race, I must say.
Definitely was indeed. If everyone wants to leave the lobby, please, so me and Cav can also leave. We're being held captive by everybody staying.
Yes, please. And what we must push you for, our Fanjo. God, I was going to call you Gaffo. Before we finish up, sorry to insult you so badly, is your driver of the day. Who would you put down as driver of the day? Doesn't have to be the winner. It can be anyone that you think is, achieved from a great grid stop.
I think the game got a spot on there. I think Big Knuckles had a flawless drive, if I must say. Yeah. I think the only blemish would be time penalty, but I think everyone who finished with a time penalty, so yeah, you can't knock him from that. Yeah, no, absolutely stellar drive from P19 all the way to P2, so gotta give it to him.
Yeah, incredible drive, and great to see Knuckles back on the grid as well. Certainly looking comfortable up in Tier 3. Good pace today from the Knuckles. So, I don't know if we're getting out here, Josh, and I don't know if anyone's going to join us. I would have thought we'd have heard from Gaffo by now, celebrating his win, but maybe the champagne has already been burst. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they'll join, not leave us lonely in here talking to ourselves. So often that I'm gonna say it to them.
So this sets now an interesting precedent for the week ahead, not only in terms of track violations, but in terms of finishers. And what was interesting, I suppose, about the 8 cars we did lose, most of them were lost off their own accord. Wasn't as a result of contact or incidents, but more so just errors, individual errors. So as we go to Tier 4 tomorrow night, and then into Tier 1 and 2, I wonder will we see the same?
I don't think Big Knuckles is... Oh no, he is in this party. There's Gaffo, there's one of them.
There's Jenna.
Jenna herself.
Well, Jenna,
my goodness.
Sorry lads, just give me a minute here.
No issue, you calm yourself down and relax there.
Sounded like a threat, but
You calm yourself down too, Josh, please.
Also, I'd like to take this time to apologise to the viewers for having to step into commentary for a bit. But actually, Cav sorted out his network.
Yeah, desperate times call for desperate measures, but you filled the gap well, Fanjo, in fairness to you.
Don't lie to them, Cav. You just
nah,
you're bored.
Well, listen, you couldn't be bored in this race. In fairness, it was eventful. You can't deny that. It's one of those races you couldn't see what was coming. No, true. No deck, no party. But yeah, bizarre race all the same.
I don't think anybody else is coming into us, Cav. So
you lead the way, Josh.
Just take us away with Gaffo, or if he's here.
I am.
He is. Gaffo, how was that? Overall, you got P3 on the grid, but no one cares about that. You got the win. you managed it. How was the race overall? How did you find it? Did you think you'd be able to climb up from P3 into the lead, or? What was your thoughts
Oh,
around there?
100%. I thought it was going to be P1 in the first corner. And you know what? Like, you laugh about it, but I'm actually not even joking. I actually thought, because before, I think when you were having connection issues, I was like, oh, here, I want to do this restart, this start
Yeah.
anyway and see what happens. And I got up into P1, and Kay Flemo got a bad start, and I had a feeling he'd do that again. And then if I just burned the ERS, it's such a long run down to turn one. So, like, in the slipstream of Ryan, I could get him. Unfortunately, I didn't, but I got by him eventually, and then he done what he's best known for and lost the car. And then obviously that kind of safety car was a bit throwing off because of, or not the first one, sorry, the second one, because of the lads that came in. But luckily, I think the third one, I think there was 3 altogether, or maybe there was 4, I don't know, but the one after I had pitted kind of got lucky because I got kind of Aaron Sully and Jay Carley and all of them out of the way, and I just had to get by Big Knockus, who, to be fair, drove really well and done me a good favour in holding up Nolan. But got by him, and kind of from there on it was just keep the car on the road and keep up good pace. I think when I did get by him, like, I think I was going really quick on the straight and set purple sector 1, and then for the rest of the lap I was just trying to get a second away from him, and I think I got like about a second and a half, and then also set the fastest lap. That was obviously taken away because I think Asa got it in the end, but I'm quite happy with the result.
Yeah, so a lot of confidence and a bit of slander from Gaffo, but
Yeah,
nonetheless.
missile launched.
Yeah, you had a fantastic race. You had great pace. You managed to bridge a huge gap from Knockos behind you.
Yeah, I think tyre wear is a big key in that as well. I think I had an engineer beside me. I had Jinx 1, 2, 3 for a while, and then he left like midway through. So
Right.
I had Orcha then instead, and he was kind of telling me like that, like his tyres are like so much older than yours. Like you're gonna get away from him. So luckily I did, and he managed to hold up the guys behind.
Yeah. Well, let's ask about your qualifying, since you were so confident about getting the win. Did something go wrong for you? Were you expecting to be on pole, or what did you think about your
Oh no,
qualifying?
I wasn't expecting to be on pole, and to be honest, I didn't want to be on pole because I've raced in Mexico only 2 times before. One of them was like in the middle of the pack, and that was just absolute carnage. Now obviously this wasn't League of Ireland, so well actually I think I did race in League of Ireland. It was on the old game though, but on this game I've only raced it twice, and one was middle of the pack, and that's carnage, and then I actually was P2 in the other one, and like you just get swarmed off the with no no slipstream. So I was thinking P3 or P4 would be solid, and to be honest, I think it was probably one of the best laps I could have set. Like I'm still not used to the no traction yet. So I was on full traction despite being on the new setup, which I suppose still kind of helped today, as far as like just controlling the car, and of course it kind of worked out. I'm really happy with P3, and then the result itself was completely different.
And now looking at the championship in general, I believe you're going to take the lead with a
I think I
P7
am.
and a P1.
P6, I think.
P6,
so it's
yeah.
P6
33
and a
points.
P1, even better. Yeah. What do you think your chances are of taking the championship altogether?
Sure, we'll see. I don't know yet. We'll see what tracks we have ahead of us. Generally let me actually get the calendar up here.
Will
The
be
first
the
few
Italy
races in the
next.
calendar while I was reacting to it wasn't that great. But as soon as we hit kind of Spa, I think I'm really in for like a good end, because I love Brazil, I love Baku. Obviously I got my first LOI podium in Austria. Kota not so much, and then I feel like I can definitely win Abu Dhabi again, which is like, I know, really confident, but I love Abu Dhabi. It's by far one of my best tracks I've ever raced on.
Right, very good. So a lot of confidence from Gaffo once again. And I think we'll leave it
as
at
always.
that. No one else wanted to come in to chat to us, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you for coming in, Gaffo, and well done on the win. Well done to the rest of the podium. And thank you for tuning in as well. Do tune in again. Me and Cav will be back next Sunday, for Monza. So once again, thanks for watching, and good night and God bless. Goodbye.